President Trump is escalating the standoff with European allies over Greenland, threatening new tariffs on some countries that oppose his plan. The president has said the island is needed for national security, but European leaders say the sovereignty of the self-governing territory needs to be respected. Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest.
A trade war is in no one's interest.
European leaders are pushing back as President Trump doubles down on his push to acquire Greenland, issuing a new threat to impose tariffs of up to 25% on key allies, including Denmark, France, and the UK, until a deal is reached.
Alliances endure because they're built on respect and partnership, not pressure.
Amid calls to de-escalate, Norway's prime minister confirmed he received a message from President Trump saying, in part, due to the decision to award someone other than himself the Nobel Peace Prize, he no longer feels an obligation to think purely of peace and can now think about what is good and proper for the United States.
We are not going to outsource our national security.
The Trump administration maintains it must control the strategic Arctic island to protect the U.S. from threats posed by China and Russia.
If there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States.
But lawmakers from both sides of the aisle said the standoff over Greenland is making the world less safe, and a bipartisan group just wrapped up a trip to Denmark to try and reassure allies in person.
Part of the point of this trip is to have a bipartisan group of members of Congress listen respectfully to our friends.
Greenland needs to be viewed as our ally, not as an asset.
Over the weekend, thousands of protesters demonstrated in Denmark and Greenland against President Trump's plan, saying the island is not for sale. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
New CBS News polling shows opposition across party lines to taking over Greenland. And 70% of Americans say they do not want the president using federal dollars to buy the territory. An overwhelming 86% say they do not want him to invade using military force.